You came.
That seems like a really personal admission.
I'm a fucking superhero.
That seems like a really odd reply to that very personal admission. We are talking about orgasms, right?
I'm your father, Becca.
It's so awesome we're just going to pick up right where the season finale left off. I can't wait to find out what actually occurred after. Damn it! Well, at least they'll get into it later in this episode, right? Right? 2 minutes, 44 seconds and a diabolical bloodbath of expositional previously ons. Open laptop's position.
Baby kale salad?
Baby kale salad. In case you confused it with Al-Zabadani, Wisconsin.
Exactly what casualty allowance are we looking at here?
Officially, 0, of course. But cone of silence, 34%.
Episode teases us with a cone of silence, but episode does not deliver on said cone of silence. Jason Voorhees. Also, that was a huge f***ing explosion, so what the hell is Black Noir's suit made of, and why isn't this portion made of the same stuff? I have a few final questions about Translucent while we still have the opportunity. Firstly, I know they don't actually have his body, but wouldn't people think it's weird that he's not clothed in the casket? He's dressed in basically every picture and portrait we see, so why not now? Second, also, Lee, why is he always invisible in these pictures and portraits? The public knows what he looks like. He appeared on f***ing Jimmy Fallon, for crying out loud. You don't see anyone else flexing their powers in portraits. Well, you don't see Translucents either, but you know what I mean.
I will save you.
Except for apparently not now, because it's more important that Homelander gives a speech at a funeral than ridding the world of terrorists.
Out of sight, never out of mind.
This memorabilia feels less like a sign of reverence and respect and more like a dumping ground for rejected Translucent jokes from the trash can in the TVSins writer's room. Sorry, we don't actually have a trash can. Not since it started overflowing with Archer references. That's how we got ants.
Really hard. What comes in waves?
The news ticker shows Homelander's "comes in waves" quote the second he speaks it, and the same thing happens when Starlight talks in a few seconds. Now, of course, this is because this is Vought news channel and it's all scripted, right? But shouldn't Vought want to at least pretend that it's sincere? I can't get a good signal in the Target parking lot, but Huey is somehow able to stream videos with no issue in this f***ing basement. No one will be seated as the episode cuts back and forth between Huey primping and Starlight unprimping in each of their living spaces.
No one followed me down here, and they can't even trace my chip down here.
If subways can get Wi-Fi, Vought should have a way of tracking their most valuable assets down there too.
Yeah, you look good too. You look very, yeah, I'm lying. I'm sorry.
If Huey's supposed to represent a human male who doesn't look good, then I'm never showing my face in public again.
I saw a really great picture of you at the Teen Choice Awards with, what's his name, Ansel Adams?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Huey seems surprised at Annie's choice of date, but he can hardly expect her to go to this sort of event solo. Splash zones are glorified backyard sprinklers, and they f***ing know it.
You bailed me out? Yeah.
Slightly more useful than Hawkeye bails the Deep out of jail so that he can convince him to join a cult, but couldn't they have nabbed him earlier and saved themselves some cash? And if they're just waiting for him to hit rock bottom, I have to wonder what part of "you're moving to Ohio" didn't trigger that immediately. This movie's tagline is "You can't kill what you can't see," and I would argue that you can, especially if he's clothed in non-invisible clothes and armed with a non-invisible weapon. Also, using this as your Invisible Force tagline instead of, if you see one hero this year, it won't be this one, or just a picture of John Cena.
Shut your trap, you dumbbad, or else I'll bollock you.
But that's exactly what William Butcher did.
Assuming that bollocksing means blowing someone up with C4 instead of, well, whatever those crazy Brits say bollocksing actually means.
And why was Madeline Stillwell's baby found safe in a yard 17 miles away?
Oh, thank goodness. For a second there, I was worried that I couldn't root for Butcher anymore. Killing a baby's just a step too far compared to indiscriminately killing people with a baby, or his general disregard for anything other than his own murder boner.
Could you stay here? We're Frenchie's gangbanger friends. The Cots, they got 31 flavors of semen on them.
Baskin Kins. Also, no judgment, but how does MM know there are 31 distinct flavors?
18 Ed Hannibal, 30 dozen Lee Marvin, Beatles, Brian Epstein.
Okay, but I don't remember Hannibal, Marvin, or Epstein using the C word quite so much. Okay, maybe Epstein. We're all rightfully focused on the human lactation stimulation here, but the real thing that freaks me out is that they emptied pretty much everything from this office, but they left the mini fridge plugged in? Okay, that might not seem like a huge deal in comparison, but who am I to play devil's lactation advocate when I get freaked out by drinking milk with Italian food? All the way off with that nonsense.
What happens if, I don't know, I do this?
Ah!
Does Homelander have a stun setting? I'm pretty sure he knows how to pull his punches, but this well? How do you just make enough contact to have the ears start gushing blood, but not enough contact to cause the head to explode? Also, how does Homelander get away with this? Vought seems to shy away from outright making heroes disappear, or else the deep would already be sushi, so what are they going to do with Blind Spot? Tell him he tripped in between Homelander's hands?
The only reason you're here and not doing corporate PR for fucking Diva Cups.
You, dude. I imagine that would be a very fulfilling career. I hear their bonus scheme is uncapped and renewed periodically. Also expecting me to believe that Homelander acknowledges women enough to even know what a Diva Cup is. All three of these texts have just now listed by them. Starlight has so many reasons to be mad at her mother, but quickly moving up the list to number 1 is that she doesn't tell Starlight everything in one fucking text.
How it is. Don't want to get stuck with the cleaning bill.
Then may I suggest a different venue? We've had to blur it, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out the one sheet covering half of the bed isn't doing much to defend against the amputation orgy. First rule in going to a sleazy hotel to work out some seriously sleazy kinks is to close the blinds all the way, is what I've been told. Okay, arm regeneration is cool, but the buried BDSM lead here is that he doesn't feel any pain. No pain whatsoever. This is a person that can regrow limbs and doesn't feel pain. This guy should have his own franchise and be played by Ryan Reynolds.
I'd keep the arm, right?
Why would you want to keep the arm? And yes, that is the most shocking part to me. Honestly, the rest just seems fairly armless.
For an extra grand, I'll let you chop off my dick.
I'm really curious about how Gecko found out his powers work with his dick as well. I mean, I guess I don't want to know, but I kind of do want to know, but I don't want to know, but I kind of want to know. Also, penectomy profiteering peeping. Also, let's talk about the hero's plan. Annie's been tasked with blackmailing lab tech Matthew into getting her some V and has been provided with his contact details by Huey. How did Huey get his details? And why did they pick this lab assistant? I mean, fortunately, Matthew has a seedy side hustle, but did Huey know that? If he did, why did he need to put Annie at risk? He could have filmed this and blackmailed him just as easily as Annie could.
He's broken every single bone in his arm. Broken half his ribs. I can't do nothing.
You got all that from a 5-second visual diagnosis? Is him in a soup?
He promised me you were only smuggling guns, cocaine and fentanyl.
Wait, is he saying that the people that smuggled guns, drugs, and even more drugs lied? No one likes being pushed around, but throwing a boat at someone wouldn't be my first answer if I'm trying to keep a low profile. Couldn't he have just used his powers to push the guy away instead of performing a very rare land-based kinetic scaphism? Okay, it's not technically a scaphism, but how often do you get to say death by scaphism?
How about saving the world? Wow, unanimous strong reaction. So what is it about?
Nope. It's saving America.
If Homelander's just going to dictate branding however he sees fit, why is he wasting time going through the song and dance of a focus group? In fact, can we just ban focus groups altogether? I hear that's why they canceled Firefly.
That's just Carol.
Carols.
I don't have a job. Or Robin, or my dad, or...
Skip?
I need you to go into the labs on 67 and steal me a sample of Compound V.
I can't. I mean, it's impossible. I'm a nobody there. I'm a lab rat.
Which raises all of the questions. 1, how does Gecko know about Compound V if he's just a lab rat? Why would they let him in on the most potentially devastating secret they have? 2, how did Huey know that Gecko knew about Compound V?
FYI, not a real base. As if Homelander and Maeve are gonna eat MREs and piss in a ditch with the rest of the criminals.
Why would Vought be okay with Stormfront live streaming this marketing embarrassment to thousands of people?
Oh my God. Hi!
Physically turning the camera around like a former Nazi psychopath instead of flipping the camera. No one ever in the world has ever successfully ever filmed what they were intending to film using the front-facing camera like this. Ever.
You know, you ain't John Cusack, man. You ain't got no motherfucking boombox.
Maybe not, but Huey will say anything to get out of a jam.
Okay, so give me the description of this guy.
About 5'10", 165, black hair, wearing knockoff jeans and sneakers.
Wait, he got all that from...
You got all that from the video?
Okay, well, here's a sin for MM's unbelievable eye for detail, and for Huey stealing a sin as I'm literally writing it.
Probably from Taiwan, maybe India.
Thanks for narrowing it down to 1.2 million square miles. You might as well have said he's from not here.
Frenchie, who do you know who could do that?
I don't think any of us have a clue who did that, but safe to say it definitely isn't this brand new person on the news that we've just transitioned to that seems to have something important to say, because that would be weird.
My contract's up end of this year. Maybe it's time I move on.
He has a contract? I mean, the existence of a contract suggests at the least the possibility of enforcing said contract. And Enforcing a contract against Homelander. Oh, that's good.
What do you know about Frederick Vought?
I'm not getting lectured by Giancarlo Esposito in this scene.
Frederick Vought, such the rising young star that in '39 Hitler appointed him chief physician at Dachau.
Oh, for f***'s sake, of course it's the f***ing Nazis. If in doubt, let's give the supervillain or super scientist an origin story with the Nazis so that we don't have to do all the heavy lifting of creating a unique backstory. Pop culture sure does owe a lot to the Nazis. Wait, nope. I heard it. As soon as I said it, I heard it.
While you're preening at the Golden Globes, we're busy running around like maniacs trying to clean up the mess you made.
Mr. Edgar survives this. Listen, I love the gravitas that Giancarlo Esposito brings to a villain, but I still wonder why this stops Homelander from smushing him. Why does he always seem to restrain himself from doing any real damage until a season finale? Why do heroes always have to arrive as if their only velocity choices are 0 or terminal?
That wasn't meant for us.
How do you know?
Because our brains aren't all over the dash, that's how.
Why aren't their heads detached from their shoulders right now? This soup can apparently kill anonymously and from a distance, so why would she risk letting the boys minus Butcher get away? Other than we wouldn't really have much of a season 2 if they did.
I know when you're not telling me the truth, Huey. I kind of lived with it every single day. Don't lie to me. Not again.
All Huey has to say is I can't talk right now, or this isn't the best place for us to discuss, let's meet later, or anything that doesn't revolve around him lying to the woman he's already screwed over countless times. And he doesn't do that because Huey's a dumbass, and he'll still probably end up with Annie again despite of all of his apparent faults. Fucking Huey.
But don't you worry, Daddy's home.
I don't understand how bringing up a terrible movie starring Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell will help matters, but you do you, Butcher.
It expires tomorrow.
Milk party!
Before he left, Translucent said to me, almost as if he knew something was going to happen, he said, "Hey, Homelander, tell my son Maverick that I love him."
Here lies a great man. A great man! Father!
Who's gonna be our captain?
I'm the captain now. How about this one? How does it make you feel? Anyone?
Anyone? The Great Depression.
Look at me. From now on, you are mine.
You called him.
We need a real captain.
I'm the captain now.